Halo semuanya, ketemu lagi di Taman, Bincang Santai Pariwisata bareng teman. Barengan saya Doni, Country Manager untuk di Hotel School Australia, based di Jakarta. Dan seperti yang sudah berlangsung di beberapa minggu terakhir, sekarang saya ada di backyard saya. Kita outdoors mencari udara segar, kita bakal ngobrol bareng-bareng tentang apa? Sekitar pariwisata dan juga hospitality industry di berbagai negara. Dan untuk hari ini kita kedatangan teman saya, Harry Mitchell dari Sydney, Australia. Oke, sekarang coba kita add Harry. Dan semoga bisa kita tunggu kedatangannya.
Hello, how are you?
Hi Harry, how are you?
Good, thank you.
So you can hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you. Is it okay with my audio?
Really, really good.
Ah, very good.
So it's winter. It's winter there in Sydney, right?
Yeah, that's right. I've in Sydney, the temperature should be around, the 20 degrees mark at the moment. So not too cold.
Mm-hmm. Not too cold, so just a light shirt is okay for you, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. But definitely people would be putting on their jackets very soon as well.
Very soon as well. So what's the coldest weather in Sydney, if possible?
Oh yeah, definitely. It can get to because it's relies on different suburbs because it could be near the Blue Mountains, so it could definitely get to 0 degrees for sure.
With snow? Not yet, yeah?
Not quite yet, not yet, not in Sydney.
Not quite yet. Not in Sydney. So snow will be happen only on the mountainside in Victoria area, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. Yeah,
All right. Okay, my camera went down. Sorry.
that's okay.
I just gonna hold it. Well, this is the technical things that usually happen when you do Instagram Live, guys. So Harry, thank you for joining me. So basically, I did this. I've done this for several times with some of my friends from different area. Like last week, I have a chat with Mesa from Melbourne, our student from Melbourne. So we would like to start with introducing yourself. So who is Harry Mitchell? Because we want to have new friends here. They also want to know you more. So who is Harry Mitchell?
Yeah, so thank you, first of all, for having me as well. And so originally, I am from the mid-north coast on New South Wales. So if you could just imagine between Brisbane and Sydney. So originally, I'm from the middle of there.
Okay.
So a small village, a small country town on the coast. And then when I moved to Sydney, that was in 2016. And what I did was when I joined the hotel school, I worked in Sydney as well. And then I do have family there. And then also my passion is, of course, hospitality. So I've always been in hospitality, but of course, within photography too. So I do love photography.
Mm-hmm.
So even on my page, I post a lot of videos and photos as well. And basically, I'm just a kid from from the coast, and that's pretty much essentially where I took my experience overseas as well, as I'm also half British, so I have my British citizenship. So that means that
Okay.
I was able to work in the EU before Brexit. So then I was able to work in Vienna in Austria as well. So pretty much within hospitality, I've been in the industry for quite a while.
Okay. Okay. So moving to a small city and then going to Sydney, is that always been your dream, like to move to a bigger city, or what was your decision making reason?
Yeah, so a lot of people from where I'm from definitely want to explore and find out what else is out there. So we typically move to Queensland or Sydney. So pretty much basically where I'm from, it's similar to Queensland, same kind of people. So very easygoing, very
Mm-hmm.
friendly, laid back. And then moving to Sydney, I went there to go for, the fast pace and to progress within my field a lot faster since it's the largest city in Australia. Very busy, but a lot of opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And I took every opportunity there was. And then, of course, took
Mm-hmm.
that overseas and around Europe as well. So definitely a lot of opportunities
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to take. I took every opportunity here since when you're a small town, you go to small schools, you do everything and you have a lot of opportunities. and you take them.
Mhm.
So I just
Mhm.
did the same in Sydney and the same as Europe as well.
And then why you want to study hospitality?
Yeah, well, a lot of the time my passion is people. So I like to interact with people, meeting new people, and exploring. So exploring meaning tourism and meeting people meaning hospitality. So when I was starting out, of course, like everyone else, we start at the bottom. So we work in food and beverage or we work within that area and then we move up. So definitely serving people is always a passion to make sure that, you know, they're comfortable. Providing food and beverage is always a nice thing, and you get to meet them and interact with them as well.
Okay, okay. Let me translate this a little bit ya for those viewers that
Yeah, yeah.
probably want to know more in Indonesian. Jadi Harry ini datangnya dari kota kecil di antara Brisbane dan juga Sydney, teman-teman. Dan Harry memutuskan untuk pindah ke Sydney untuk mengejar mimpinya bekerja di hospitality, dan karena Harry juga setengah British, jadi dia sempat bekerja di European Union. Dan dia jelas-jelas ingin ke hospitality karena dia merasa suka dengan berinteraksi dengan orang-orang. Jadi buat kamu-kamu yang suka interaksi dengan orang baru, hospitality is one of your correct choice to go to study and also to pursue a career. I'm just telling that if there are someone like you who like to interact with people, hospitality is one of the way for you to go, right?
That's it. Yeah, and even traveling within our countries right now, we can still do that. So traveling, of course, is limited, but that's how you meet people and get explore and also get to know yourself too.
Mhm. Mhm. So you decided to go to Sydney campus, the hotel school Sydney campus, right? And how's the study you like? Like you learn everything just about hotels, or is it something a bit broader?
Yeah, so definitely where I'm from, I learnt from a young age, I was working as well. So a lot of people here start working before 14. So legally you can work definitely before 14. So what I did was I already practically worked the same jobs as I did when I was in Sydney. I did it here in a regional area. And so I was practically hands-on. So I wanted to get more of a higher qualification and I wanted a degree. I didn't want just a qualification that was maybe a certificate. So when I went to Sydney, I focused on hospitality and tourism as an industry because within those sectors and departments and outlets, there is so many opportunities to explore. So essentially, when I
Mhm.
actually was studying, I was also working as a student ambassador. I worked in the representative council and, of course, ran my own photography business as well. So I was doing large events.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was doing a large events within weddings, a lot of five-star properties at the Intercontinental mostly. And when I did my photos, I essentially could work my business degree into my photography passion. So essentially,
Mhm.
when I finished my degree, I had a graduate position, and I worked in within over 100 positions and within over 25 departments and outlets. So I worked in every aspect of a hotel property as well.
Mhm. So there's a question from Tuti Agustina. Hi, Tuti. So basically, she asked about, is it true? Maybe what you have heard before when you grow up, or the people in Australia, or maybe commonly, is it true that it is better to start hospitality from a big city? To pursue career in hospitality, is better to start from a big city, or what's the advantage of going to Sydney instead of going to, I don't know, just do it locally in your region or things like that?
It's a really good question because I asked myself that as well. So what I did is, of course, I'm from a small town, so I learned everything within soft skills. So what that means is communication within, and of course, knowing non-verbal communication. So I had a specific market that I was working with, of course, regional, rural Australians, domestic market. So I wanted to see what Sydney could bring as well, but Sydney has a lot more
Mm-hmm.
work opportunities, so a lot more employment. And within the employment,
Oh, okay.
that opportunity I went for. But I learned everything where I'm from. And that's why the unique aspect, you should be proud of where you're from and where you come from. And that's where your uniqueness comes from. And you can bring that into progressing that into more of a professional career as well.
Okay, okay, okay. Jadi teman-teman, tadi pertanyaan kan tentang apakah lebih baik kalau mulai karir di perhotelan itu dari kota besar. Jadi sebenarnya untuk Harry dia setuju karena memang meskipun Harry sudah punya banyak pengalaman saat bekerja part-time di kotanya dia, tapi pergi ke Sydney itu lebih memberikan banyak kesempatan. So there are more opportunities in Sydney. That's why you go to Sydney. Just a very logical fact that there are more hotels and more hospitality activities in Sydney as a big city compared to the smaller city, right?
That's right,
So
because
there are more
yeah, definitely. Because
so
even
more
within
more
Sydney,
platforms. More,
yeah, definitely.
okay, okay,
Because even in Sydney,
okay, okay.
the five-star hotels, we only had the first one come since the Olympics, so the Sofitel in Darling Harbour. So
Mm-hmm.
even then, Sydney's got a long way
Mm-hmm.
to go for an international stage, but we do have a few more hotels coming.
Okay. So itu tadi logikanya ya teman-teman ya. So studying hospitality management, some of the questions that coming from my students, if I study hospitality management, I want to have also a working experience because this is a very practical things that I want to do in the future as well. So I know that you did your internship as well, right? And you did it also overseas, if I'm not mistaken, not only in
Correct.
Australia. So what kind of internship did you do and where? Maybe you can tell more.
Yeah, so with working and studying, it's always important to know as a higher education, as tertiary education, is a full-time study load. So it just depends what you want to do. I studied full-time and did volunteer work to progress my career, you know, not within the industry, but a lot of volunteering. So you get that experience as you go, because I wanted
Mm-hmm.
a bigger mark, a better mark within my degree. So when I went overseas, I decided to go to Vienna in Austria. So what I did was I
Mm-hmm.
learnt a little bit of German to show respect, of course, to my work colleagues, and of course to learn culturally and upskill as well. So when I went over to Vienna
Mm-hmm.
in Austria, that was 20, I think it was 2017. Feels like a while ago, but I do have a video that explains it on my page because I wanted to create more of like an experience of what it was like being a student studying overseas. So definitely I was traveling around Europe, but I worked as a food and beverage attendant for 6 months in the Steigenberger. So it's a German brand. They do have a few hotels in Dubai as well. So when I worked there, it was in the middle of Vienna, right in the center in District 1. And this was a
Mm-hmm.
rotational experience from top to bottom. And I also ran a few training programs as well in English. And then, of course, my supervisor would assist with German as well.
Okay. So just an FYI, guys, teman-teman. So the hotel school also provide internship opportunity, which is embedded. It is a compulsory for you internship if you study at the hotel school, and it is a guaranteed paid internship, of course, if you're doing in Australia with a standard salary set in Australia. But for other countries, of course, that depend on the company and the country regulations, correct?
That's right. That's why I
You can also
chose
do,
overseas
yeah.
as well, because Australia is quite competitive
Mm-hmm,
with the salary. So it's quite confident to
mm-hmm,
provide that. I chose Europe for,
mm-hmm.
more of a life experience and to see my family as well.
Okay, okay. So, and internship is definitely a good thing for you who wants to study hospitality because this is the place for you to actually implement what you have studied when you were studying at the hotel school with all the courses. So, how, so the process, how do you actually land into that internship? So you were on your second or third year and then you applied, how you see the job vacancy there, or what did you do?
Yeah, so for me, I went along the networking path, so within LinkedIn. So I've always had a job through LinkedIn. So it's either being headhunted, so someone that looks for you, or someone that reaches out, or you can actually, connect with them. Since we're living virtually, I do suggest everyone, LinkedIn is the professional Facebook, and of course it has your resume on there. So that's how I connected. And my family lived in Vienna as well. or still live there. And essentially, I reached out to a few branded hotels that were the largest, companies, but they all required German. So what I did was, and funny enough, the German actual hotel wanted me because I spoke English, so they wanted to have that, diverse range as well, and I can teach the staff.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I went through LinkedIn and connected with one of the directors of rooms division in Vienna, and she assisted me with a few other hotels, but then decided we can go with her hotel in the Steigenberger. So we have the professional learning center, and they also helped me with making sure that my resume was internationally standardized to make sure that it is when each country has a different way of doing it. So of course, even in Australia, it's not necessary to have your picture on the resume, but in Europe, it's a standard. So they have your picture on the resume. So just these small things really
Mm-hmm.
matter. And that's when I went through the learning center to help me make sure that it was all up to standard.
Mm-hmm. But um, you know exactly that you want to go to Vienna because of those different reasons. One of the reasons is because your family were there. But how about if those students that don't have any family, don't know what to go, or don't know what to do, don't know where to go? So, is there any support being given by the hotel school, by the learning center,
Yeah,
to
definitely.
connect and
Yeah.
to know the hotel?
Yeah, so definitely, because even I had my second option. I wanted to go to the Hayman Island. So Hayman Island, the Great Barrier Reef, because it can accommodate you. You can work and study with them. So what that means is they
Mm-hmm.
provide, out of your salary, you can get that salary and put that towards the rent of the week and live on the island. So that's what was my second option because they suggested that. So a lot of resorts provide hotel accommodation, and also in Dubai or the UAE, they also provide hotel accommodation and then they assist you to get to the
Mm-hmm.
property. But I went the route of, I would suggest trying to get your connections sorted, or pick somewhere where you're passionate about and where you want to go or see yourself in the future, because it's a good taster to see if you want to go there. But definitely within
Mm-hmm.
Sydney, they're mostly all hotels, but the salary in Australia, you're able to live and work as well. So it just depends which country.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and why do you choose F&B division?
Yeah, well, starting out, of course, we most of the time I started in a kitchen, so I wanted to be a chef actually. So I
Okay.
love food, as we all do, but definitely cooking was where my passion was, and I did a lot of cooking competitions around New South Wales, and then
Master Chef?
no, just I wasn't old enough for MasterChef. Yeah, so
Okay.
the actual winner of MasterChef went to the same high school as me as well. So definitely within my area, everyone's quite passionate to, chase your dreams and your career. So when I actually
Mm-hmm.
chose food and beverage, it's because I was experienced in that and I was comfortable. So if you don't know the language of German, I thought, all right, I will take the opportunity to know that I am experienced in food and beverage and I can show my skills there. And at the same time, learn the language and learn the culture respectfully as well. So, you can't do it all. So you might as well choose your strength. Then I went to front office as well eventually, which is one of the hardest departments
Mm-hmm.
in the hotel because you're pretty much running the hotel. And eventually, if you're a duty manager, you're
Mm-hmm.
basically the general manager on duty.
Okay, okay, cool. So that's very exciting. So actually, you can also in hotels you can, because you're still studying as well. There are many opportunities for you to try out different division,
That's
if
right.
I'm not
That's
mistaken.
right.
Is that what you're
I've
saying? Okay.
essentially worked every single position you could possibly think of within a hotel. Yeah, definitely over, I think I did over 250 roles. So it was quite a lot. It's a busy time for me.
That's a busy time for you. Yeah, correct. So you master everything basically, but of course, it's a good learning experience for you to know exactly where you're fit in which division you have passion.
That's right.
Because as you know, yeah, as you know, hotels is also just like a company. They have many divisions. So you want to, of course, you want to be a general manager, but to reach there, you gotta be focusing on one division, right?
That's right.
If I'm,
It's like a mini
mhm,
city, or it's like a body part where every part of the body relies on each other. And
mhm,
the strength is within the team, and I learned every single aspect. So it's important to
Hmm.
respect every position.
Hmm. So you've been to, of course, you work in Australia, and then you work. You got a chance to work even internship in Vienna, in Austria, and then I believe as a hotel school, as a hotel school program, also includes you to do a benchmarking or a study trip to Singapore
Yeah, I went
to
to
learn about
Singapore
hospitality in
and
Singapore
Hayman Island as well. So within Singapore, of course,
and Hayman Island.
it's our tourism hub. So in Singapore, we were able to experience, five-star hotels, budget hotels, the tourism board, of course, and to study that. So it's important to know,
Hmm.
they're so close to us and they are the connector to international travelers. So it's important to see that as well.
Hmm. Do you sense any, or do you observe any difference
Yeah, definitely.
in hotels, how they run hotels in Austria, Singapore, and Australia?
Definitely, yeah. So within Vienna to, I would say, Hayman Island, that would be completely different. So different guests. But then again, you might have Europeans coming to Hayman Island, but you wouldn't have people from Queensland mostly visiting Vienna. So it just depends.
Mm.
What happens is in Vienna, it's Switzerland, it's France, it's Austrians and Germans and Russian guests.
Okay.
So it's completely different to going to Queensland, where it's a lot more laid back, relaxed, and a resort lifestyle. Then you have Singapore, which efficiency is key. So I can relate maybe efficiency with Singaporeans, and then of course within Germans. So of course the efficiency is key. Get the work done and make sure it's done to precision. And then in Hayman Island or in Queensland and New South Wales, Australians are a lot more laid back. So I would suggest in the workplace as well. That's why people like to come here. But definitely in Vienna, we had a lot of Russian guests, a lot of Arabian guests, and these are completely different markets that you have to change your work dynamics to as well.
So basically, how the management runs the hotels, you're saying it could be created according to the market that
Correct.
they targeting, right?
That's
And
right.
also the expectation of the market. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's right. Because even
Uh,
in Germany and Austria, you have the world leaders of hospitality. These are the best in the
mhm.
world. Switzerland is over 150 years of their education. They are the leaders and the pioneers. So definitely that's where those students come from. And when they come to Australia, they're able to bring that experience. And then also, of course, we can bring our experience to them.
Mm-hmm. And talking about hotels in Australia, not just hotel, but all the hospitality and tourism industry, uh, during the pandemic, what happened? Like, of course, it must be decreasing a lot in numbers of guests, but what happened during the pandemic?
Yeah, so in February, the government restricted travel from China. And then in March, the hotels started to see a decline within visitation. And then, of course, within the time frame of shutdown of all borders and international travel, what this meant was
Mm-hmm.
they actually had to reduce the efficiency of, or actually reduce staff, or we had to go on to a job keeper to keep your staff. And then essentially what happened was they brought the staff all back because of the people that are isolated. So what that meant was when
Okay.
international travels would return to Australia, you needed to isolate them for 14 days, for 2 weeks. So the Tourism Association of Australia reached out to the government and requested for them to be put up in hotels to keep jobs and, of course, keep Australia safe. So that was like a business deal that they
Mm-hmm.
did. So that was the biggest decision within hotels, and that's keeping them alive and keeping people in jobs.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so basically, that's what happened in Australia. Yeah, for Indonesian, our biggest market when we go to Australia is Paddy's Market
Oh, yes, yes.
because we like to shop.
It's great. Yeah.
We like
I
to
live
shop.
just near
Yeah.
there.
You live just there, nearby Paddy's Market.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so the market is definitely closing, right?
Yeah, so
Because
it
they
was a
don't have.
big decrease in Chinatown, in Piedmont, in the CBD, central in the central area, decline because of restaurants, and that started off because of food, because of mass, population or mass tourism coming together. They reduced that straight away.
Mhm. Oke, jadi teman-teman kalau di Australia, let me just translate a bit about the condition. Jadi di Australia kemarin karena mulai bulan Februari mereka sudah tutup bordernya untuk turis dari China. Lalu bulan Maret mereka juga udah mulai melihat ada penurunan gas dan mereka sudah tahu bulan Maret juga sudah mulai banyak pandemiknya, sudah mulai heboh ya. Jadi pemerintah Australia mengimplementkan peraturan di mana mereka semua turis-turis yang di saat semua turis-turis yang hendak pulang sudah dipulangkan dan yang dari Australia sudah hendak pulang ke Australia, mereka menyarankan dan mewajibkan semuanya untuk karantina 14 hari. Dan mereka juga sudah menyarankan semua hotel-hotel untuk mengurangi staff-staffnya dengan tidak memecat. Jadi mereka sebisa mungkin mempertahankan orang-orang untuk tidak kehilangan pekerjaan. So, itu bagusnya ya sama manajemen perhotelan di sana yang diatur oleh pemerintah juga. Jadi itu yang patut dicontoh. Semoga nggak banyak orang kehilangan pekerjaan. So, and then what happened now? Now that everything goes well, I know that starting a month ago, I think, I don't know about Sydney, but Perth and Brisbane already back to normal, if I'm not mistaken. Or am I wrong?
It is complicated. So because of the regulations, what they've done is like it's prevention now. So what it is they tried to, the curve. All they did was talk about the curve, whatever they do, cut the curve.
Statistic, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of, terms and whatever. But what they did was now it's kind of reduction and, isolation. So social distancing is a must in all states. And even in Queensland, the border is closed at the moment because each state has their own rules. But within the Prime Minister, he announces every month what's happening, and they have like a 3-step plan. We're up to the 3rd step now, so July is coming. And basically, I went into a resort just yesterday, actually, and they do still have the glass door in front of you, like the screen, and that's mostly in all shopping centers as well. And of course, where to stand, and of course, making sure that all hygiene things are taken care of as well. So all signages as well. So that's basically, minimalizing. Basic stuff.
So what's the regulation now? So what's the regulation now for us as a traveler who wants to go inside a restaurant? Are we allowed to go to restaurants? Are we allowed to go to malls?
Oh yeah,
and
good
hotels?
question. Yeah, so it's got restrictions. So it's 10 people within. Now it's 20. Rules change, but what they're up to right now is they prefer takeaway. So you come to the restaurant, you make sure that you actually make a reservation. Numbers are restricted, and then they can plan accordingly. If you don't make that number, you just have to wait. So even in hotels, they of course go to in-room dining. All the touch points is reduced. So all these touch points they try to get rid of. So then they go to technology. So on the phone, deliver. So a lot of actual, Deliveroo, Uber Eats, all these companies are now booming because of the e-commerce. Yeah.
Jadi sama ya teman-teman ya. It's the same like in Indonesia. Jadi sama. Yeah, we have even though some of because we have Grab bike or it's like a bicycle taxi, like Uber bike, right? With motorcycle, which is most crucial things here for Jakarta as a very big city with a huge traffic. So basically, they start to feel the pain because people this driver cannot pick up people to take them everywhere. So even though this driver cannot pick up passengers, but at least they can find another revenue of income from delivering food. So that's what happened as well in Indonesia.
That's right.
We have Grab Food and Go Food, which is very, very booming right now. People just stay at home and ordering things for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just changed the world.
Just changed a lot. So restaurants also like that. and also malls. So basically, when you say touch point in Indonesia, if I can tell you, we start to open our mall like 2 days ago. Uh, and then some of the big mall, the luxury big mall, they start to have this like not touch, but basically like a scanning system
Okay.
to use the elevator, to use the whatever, like all kind of things. Do you also have that in Australia?
Yeah, definitely. They try to
So you
say
don't push.
stay away from, yeah, don't touch it, don't push the button to step across the road. These are all, basic stuff that is I never did anyway. To be honest, like public areas, you always should be vigilant and create your own rules for, personal
Hmm.
hygiene. So definitely within elevators, can you imagine going to work in an office that's 30 stories high, and then you have to put in
Hmm.
20,000 staff going in? So that would be hard. So a lot of people
Hmm.
are working from home, and working from home is a lot safer
Hmm.
to keep everyone isolated and get them off public transport.
Mm. But hotels are still opening right now, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. Hotels
They're
are
open
operating.
because of the isolated guests, but they're back to normal now. It's
Absolutely.
just there's social distancing rules. That's all we hear on the news every
Hmm.
day.
And since the people are allowed to travel, even though it's still inside the state,
Domestic, yeah.
so they already domestic. So they already accept a guest from different cities inside
Yes,
New South Wales.
just Queensland is a no. So New South Wales is okay. You can travel. Just everyone needs to travel within their borders at the moment.
Hmm. Okay, 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 okay. Any hope or any agenda that are being discussed by the government for the future of hospitality industry, especially
Yeah, well,
in
definitely.
Australia?
Even right now, you need shelter, you need safety, you need these are the things you need food. So that is hospitality. So basically, it's a necessity. And within tourism, people are always wanting to travel and explore. So I had a meeting with Tourism Association Australia the other week, and what they were saying was that they they're already planning for people to be traveling because in within people, it is a must. So that market is already there, but the people that it is a must, it's a first priority. And these people are already looked at as the next market to move the industry forward. So a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
when you move, you're a visitor within one day, you might need food. When you're a tourist, you're
Mm-hmm.
overnight stay, so you need shelter. It's a must. So a lot of these people
Mm-hmm.
would be moving around still, and it will boom. But it's all depends on the airlines now. These airlines are
Mm-hmm.
up in the air, so it's all up to these major companies that are owned by international companies to make the decision of even with the largest airline, American Airlines, they're doing okay. And then, of course, within Emirates and Qantas, it's quite questionable at the moment. So a lot of questions there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, airline. So that's depend on the company. But then I heard about stages about border. Now that you cannot go to different states, is it gonna be forever or is it gonna be open soon?
Yeah, they're going to reassess in July. So on the news every day we hear, that what the politicians do, they debate. So all we do is hear is that, and then of course in July, that's when they reassess. So that month, they said they have
Mm-hmm.
no plans. They can't tell us any plans, but July will be when they discuss this.
So no update yet. When are you going? They're gonna open the border and everything, yeah?
That's right. Do you mean internationally?
Or domestically,
Yeah.
nationally, or
Yeah,
internationally?
so domestically, it's July, they will discuss that. And then after, it would be September, October, they will announce international information. But international will be the last one because all these people are talking about is bubbles, and they might create New Zealand as the first bubble. And then they might go to Australasia.
Mm-hmm.
So then they'll look there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's interesting. So we're just gonna hope that actually the border is open because yeah, lots of people want to travel right now, especially Indonesia, Australia is not very far. I do have a sister living in Sydney. Basically, I also want to visit her,
Yeah.
or she also really want to come to Indonesia to visit the parents as well. So this is quite a big hope for us. and of course, working in this education industry, we have international students wanting to go to Australia, and it's kind of being stopped right now. So yeah, hopefully that
Yeah, because
November.
even with the world stopping, we don't have to. So the world may have stopped, but our education hasn't. So what that means is
Mhm.
we can always keep it going because even I studied some online, but you might as well start now because you're going to move forward. And by the time the industry booms again, you will be ready or qualified by then. So we haven't stopped. The world might
Mhm.
have, but we can keep going.
Mhm. Nah, itu tuh pesan yang penting ya teman-teman ya, bahwa dunia boleh berhenti, dinding boleh berdiri tinggi, tapi kita nggak boleh berhenti untuk belajar dan pursue apa yang kita mau raih. Kayak misalnya, kenapa mesti nunggu sampai bordernya buka baru kita kuliah lagi dan belajar perhotelan? Karena kalau kita mulai dari sekarang, di saat nanti border sudah buka dan industri sudah normal, kita sudah siap dan sudah qualified untuk bekerja dan melanjutkan karir kita ke depannya. All right, that's a really good remarks and message, Harry. So I know that after being working in lots of roles in hospitality, in hotels and restaurants and everything, you are now working in at the hotel school
I'm
as
back.
course advisor.
Yes, yes, I'm back full time.
Yeah. So what's the job role, and do you and what the job role there, and what kind of study subject or courses that you've learned from the hotel school actually can be implemented into your job role right
Yeah,
now?
yes, yeah. So I've been with the hotel school, for 4 or 5 years now, on a casual basis, but I've decided to join full time. Definitely during these times, I thought it would be the best opportunity to, follow what I love and my passion. And what I basically do is the course advisor for the Hotel School Sydney, the Sydney campus in New South Wales, and I work with the sales and marketing team. So I also assist with, Instagram and of course the marketing team on Facebook. And then with as a course advisor, this is advising on our three undergraduate courses and our postgraduate courses. So, of course, we have the International Hotel Management course, the IHTMP course, which is run with the Switzerland Hotel School too. So what that means is that's a qualification as just under the diploma, and you can do two paid internships as well. So that one is
Mm-hmm.
very practical and of course internationally recognized and highly regarded. And then the diploma is essentially the first year of the Bachelor of Business in Hotel Management. What that means is it's 8 subjects that you study, and this is the entry to the beginning of your qualifications. And then you work your way up to the 3 year degree, which I completed, the Bachelor of Business in Hotel Management, with a 6 month internship, which is a component that can change your life as it did for me, and also give you opportunities to network in the future and create lifelong friends and travel the world when we're allowed to, or travel domestically. So
Mm-hmm.
what I do is I advise, so I get a lot of applicants that are interested to find out more, and I listen to their story, their qualifications, where their passion is, and I just make sure that they choose the right course and the system right all the way to enrollment into units as
Sorry, Harry, we're a bit breaking up here. Hold on a second.
well.
Okay, can you hear me? We're a bit breaking up, Harry. Lihat apakah koneksinya akan bahwa mungkin oke. Okay. Alright, jadi sepertinya memang ada sedikit masalah dengan koneksi. So we're sorry, the connection is a bit interrupted. I don't know what happened, maybe from the connection here or from the connection in Australia. Really don't know what happened. Jadi minta maaf, tapi let's see if Harry is coming back so we can chat again. Alright. Dan jelas dari pengalaman Harry tadi sangat menarik karena di hotel school kita punya Harry sudah balik. Oke, tunggu sebentar ya. Juga kita punya program-program yang menarik untuk student-student. Hi Harry.
The connection I could see.
Sorry, we lost you with
on that as
with
well,
the last sentence.
Pixelated.
Yeah. So basically, you work as code advisor, and then you advise students, you handle with their application, etc. And what I'm asking is because you're dealing with a lot of people, you meet them you meet them directly. So the subjects that you learn from the hotel school is also in business side. But does it actually help you a lot on doing your job right now?
Definitely. So
yeah, sepertinya koneksinya agak masalah.
Learn hospitality as well. Your skills are transferable in all industries and highly regarded because what it essentially means is you know how to work in a high stress environment, time management also, and of course, either working internationally and international brands. Efficiency as well, you learn that a lot, how to streamline processes. And that's what I've taken. And when you learn, soft skills, the skills that are dealing with people, you are customer service experts. So you can take that skill anywhere, and the qualifications as well. And you can turn that into a business. So I created my own business while I was doing the hotel school. I ran my own company, freelancing, but it all develops, and my assessments went towards to either running my company or opening a new one, because there was an entrepreneurship class as well, creating your own business. So I also founded another company that helps like-minded students build their own brand awareness and their own startups as well.
Okay, so let me ask you this one thing. Do you have the advantage as you are a graduate from hospitality management working in a corporate and a common, or because you're basically this education, this is a business. I won't say you're not working in a hotel right now. So you just work in a corporate company, let's say, yeah? Because there's no front office, there's nothing. But do you think that you have the edge as a graduate from hotel school?
Yeah, it's a good question. So the edge. So what I would say is the experience that I've learned, when I got to work in over 250 roles, I got to learn everyone's position. You don't get that often in a corporate role. So when you get that corporate position, you are the expert and you can give your experience. I even running a CRM, so a system, a customer relations management program, I can bring my hotel knowledge to this program in a corporate environment because they might not have run at a high pace environment that we do. So I worked in the largest hotel in the country. So we ran at 100% occupancy. We had almost 900 rooms. You might have 600 checkouts, you might have 500 check-ins. These are international, domestic travelers, and you doing your job and also being the front of house. So you are presenting as you are cool, calm, and collected, and there's no stress happening. It's like a duck that's paddling. Everything behind the scenes is running, everyone's running, but you're at an efficient pace that you're presenting, 5-star luxury. So you have that edge as well.
Oke, jadi kata Harry ini baru sekali bahwa memang yang perlu kalian tahu teman-teman, perhotelan, kuliah perhotelan pengennya kerja di hotel, tapi nggak semua orang ternyata pengen kerja di hotel, ya kan? Ada beberapa yang ingin tetap akhirnya memutuskan untuk kerja di non-hotel atau di kantor bisnis biasa. Nah, program yang kita tawarkan kan memang Bachelor dan Master of Business di Hospitality Management, jadi memang komponen-komponennya juga banyak. yang berhubungan sama bisnis secara general. And for Harry, because of his experience, he found this edge that he achieved, dia dapatkan dari pengalaman kerja dia saat kerja part-time, magang, dan lain sebagainya. Bahkan salah satunya saat dia pernah kerja di front office, kan dia belajar sistem tuh. Itu dia bawa untuk mengaplikasikan sistem CRM di kantor di hotel school sekarang. Okay, Harry, another one question. So basically, I have questions coming from Tuti Agustina again.
Yes.
So basically, this is related to hotel, pursuing career in hotels. If someone already having a bachelor degree and have working experience in hotel, do you think there's still an advantage of doing another master degree in hospitality management? Why?
Yes, yeah. So definitely within each country, it's different. Because within Europe, it's a must. The competition is, the top, the best of the best. It's fierce. You better be a leader. So within masters, it's a requirement. That is minimum requirement. Within Australia, qualifications are now on the increase because competition is booming, and a lot of international students are residing here as a permanent resident. So it allows the Australians, to be pushed to keep going to get that formal qualification. When you do a master's, even if you have held a position such as a team leader or a supervisor, it's still not managerial in terms of masters. When you do the masters, you have that opportunity to do an internship to get that managerial role, and every subject is advanced. So even I'm going to get to that stage, but not quite that yet. But when you want to move up, even an MBA, Masters of Business Administration, a Masters of Global Hotel Leadership, these ones allow you to take your career moving forward. You will be on the top of the resume pile, because as they sift through, when they deal with 50 to 100 applications, it's up to qualifications, because you're the one that has the knowledge and also the academia behind it as well. And
what
it
about for
shows how
those who
passionate you are that you've decided to study specifically that qualification.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. And then what about for those coming from different bachelor background and no experience in hotel?
Yeah, so that's a good question, because I have a lot of students that have applied that might have done a nutrition degree. They might have done, they might have done a law degree, but you can study a business degree or any undergraduate and move this into a master's of hospitality as well, because hospitality, it's a business. You're running an organization. You're running, if it's for profit, you're running a business that needs to make money. So you need to learn how to do that. And we have our alumni that have studied the Bachelor of Business in Hotel Management. Now they move to a master's in psychology because they want to analyze the hospitality industry as a whole and the psychology behind it of the workers as well. So you can keep going and diversify and also explore your passions as well.
Oke, jadi ada poin penting untuk jawaban tadi teman-teman. Kalau seandainya kamu udah bachelor di perhotelan, sudah kerja di perhotelan, apakah masuk ke master di hospitality management akan membantu kamu? Yang jelas betul, seperti pendapat Harry, bahwa ini bisa memboost up. Tergantung negaranya, tapi memang betul, di saat persaingan sudah mulai banyak, kayak di Eropa, dan juga di Bali, atau di Australia, di Indonesia. Kalau di Australia udah mulai banyak orang-orang internasional datang untuk merebut posisi itu, jadi kamu diminta untuk tetap mendapatkan kualifikasi lebih tinggi untuk bersaing, memiliki nilai lebih dalam persaingan. Dan kedua, di saat kamu ambil master degree, ke employer kamu akan menunjukkan kalau kamu passionate, bahwa kamu tetap ingin melanjutkan, mendapatkan posisi lebih tinggi, dan mendapatkan edukasi yang lebih tetap di perhotelan. Jadi itu poinnya. Dan kedua, buat kamu yang belum punya pengalaman atau S1 di perhotelan, ini kesempatan yang bagus buat kamu masuk ke industri perhotelan, karena kamu akan mendapatkan edukasi dan juga pengalaman, termasuk dari segi magangnya tadi, untuk masuk ke network hospitality tersebut. I think you understand a bit. You studied bahasa.
Yeah, as a child, I did it for my whole childhood. So all basics, and we used to do the international exchange, and we would always have our Indonesian students come. And then, of course, we'd learn, cultural dances. So I was always dancing as a kid. And we'd learn the language
Really?
and culture. Yeah. The big pants dance and everything like
What
that. Yeah. So like,
what do you remember?
so like a lot of the girls in our class as well, they went to Indonesia and did their performance as well, and we used to visit the embassy in Sydney, in Canberra, sorry, yeah, and do the dances. I don't want to do it
Mhm.
on live, but yeah,
But what's the language that you've learned? Do you remember bahasa?
Bahasa, yeah, like Hajala,
Yeah,
Tumile, yeah, yeah.
oh, the Aceh dances. Okay, we remember that. Okay, Saman. Okay, Harry learned
Yeah,
Saman dance. But the language as well, you learn terima kasih, you learn mie goreng, nasi
yeah, apa
goreng, all
kabar?
kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
Apa
satu,
kabar?
dua,
Okay.
tiga, empat, lima, enam, tujuh, delapan, sembilan, sepuluh, yeah.
Okay, just to encourage Indonesian students to come to Australia, Indonesia is, what do you think as an Australian, as a foreign, I would say foreigner because you're not Indonesian. What do you think that what the Indonesian student may have to study and pursue career in hospitality?
Yeah, I've worked even in my previous job as well. Some of my best friends came from Indonesia, and they bring a certain, service experience as well, and different culture that allows Australia to learn within a workplace and have colleagues as well. And pretty much within living in Australia, you would grow personally and professionally and see how Australians do it. But also, we want to learn from you because that is hospitality, give and take. We want to learn from you. But also, when you come to a country, even when I went to Austria, I wanted to learn from the locals. I wanted to learn what they
Mm-hmm.
do, how they serve, and how they speak, even formalities as well. You would say, instead of just hello, you would never say hello to a stranger. You would say like a specific greeting. So it just
Mm-hmm.
depends. But an opportunity to come to Australia would be life-changing if you've
Okay.
never been. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Jadi kita sebagai orang Indonesia, teman-teman bisa mengkontribusikan apa yang kita punya sebagai orang Indonesia, mulai dari budaya, mulai dari mungkin kebiasaan kita, dan juga pengetahuan kita sebagai orang Indonesia untuk bekerja di perusahaan ataupun hotel pada khususnya di luar negeri, karena mereka juga ingin belajar dan kita juga banyak belajar dari teman-teman kolega kita nantinya yang datang dari negara-negara lain. So hospitality is a very global industry, so basically cultural exchange, knowledge exchange is always very important, correct?
Very, very important.
Okay, we still have a few minutes to do closing, Harry. So basically, a closing remarks as someone coming from the hotel school and work from the hotel school. Why do you think students, if they want to study hospitality, should go and study in the hotel school?
Yeah, so definitely, even for my decision, why I chose it, because we are the only Australian hotel school. So if I wanted to study in America, I would go there. Or if I wanted to study in Switzerland, I would go there to their local schools or universities. But so we're the only Australian hotel school here. And with Southern Cross University, I come from the Coffs Harbour area, so they had SCU there. So it's a public university, which is internationally recognized. So that's another reason why I chose the hotel school. And pretty much within the actual qualification, because it's a business degree, it's a higher qualification of tertiary. That's why one of the decisions I made. But also, as I mentioned before, the world may have stopped, but your education doesn't have to. It just, you don't stop. Keep going. It's time to go within. And even if you have to do it online at some stage and then progress to coming to Australia, it's always an opportunity to get started now. So as the comments say, just be optimistic. People still need shelter. They still need food. It's the primal aspect to hospitality, being a host and a guest. So we always need that, and
Yes.
people are moving, and we will be moving. And it's time to just stay within ourselves and say, be confident and stay positive and keep moving forward. And learning something new is always an opportunity to grow personally and professionally.
Okay. So I think this also answered the last question about how to keep optimistic for hospitality industry in this pandemic? Yeah,
Yeah, so
that
I
answered the
would
question.
suggest is reach out to your friends, reach out to your colleagues that are working in the industry, and just see how they're going. Because I have friends that are working in some airlines that are now might be reducing hours or jobs. I always want to reach out to them and make sure that they're doing okay because it's an industry that it's like a family, hospitality, a family. So reaching out to people and making sure that they're okay is the most important thing now, since we're living virtually, even right now doing the live stream, to make sure that we stay connected. It's the most important thing.
Mhm. Okay, so itu tadi jawabannya teman-teman. So I guess yes, that's a very good closing from you. I don't have to say more. Basically, this session is created for you guys to be optimistic about this hospitality tourism industry. We know that this is just temporary. Uh, what will happen? We will always be optimistic. If sorry, the COVID-19 is still there. There is the new normal that uh, we try to implement it into our daily life in the future. Yeah. So this is the new normal for us. So we have to really go through it. All the industry, including hospitality, we also have the new normal activities. So just be optimistic. Our education as well. Just be
Yeah,
optimistic,
and I
guys.
would suggest, yeah, be respectful of each other and respectful of everyone's life because everyone's life right now is turned upside down. So respect and empathy, or even sympathy if you've been through something similar to someone else. Put yourself in their shoes. And even from if you're working in hospitality right now, you'll be dealing with a lot of stress and a lot of angry people. So within hospitality, because they're frustrated, just make sure that you understand where they're coming from as well as empathy can show that.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a good message, not only for those who want to pursue a career in hospitality, but for every industry, every job.
Yeah, right now,
So
respect
it's
is
gonna
key.
earning money is not easy, guys. It's stressful. so that stress in life. We're getting mature and becoming adult and try to pursue career. It's gonna be stressful, but our optimistic, our sympathy, empathy is gonna be something that gonna keep us human and respect each other, right?
That's right.
All right, thank you, Harry. Thank you for your time. I think this is a very good, I would say, talk show with Mr. Harry Mitchell from Sydney.
Thank you very much for
we
having
should
me.
do we should do this again, yeah, next time with other topics, or maybe when everything's going normal, we can do it from outdoor. Maybe you can show us a bit about Sydney side, things like that. Yeah.
Yes, yes, that's right, I can.
Okay. Thank you very much, Harry.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. Terima kasih teman-teman. Stay healthy and stay strong. Bye bye.